Okay, folks, get ready for this one because we're about to explore something um, pretty intense.
Intense is right.
We're going deep into the idea of hell,
Yeah,
but not the kind with like fire and brimstone and all that.
right.
We're looking at it from the perspective of the cognitive-theoretic model of the universe.
Yes, the CTMU.
A CTMU, exactly.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, our listeners have sent in some seriously interesting stuff about this, so
Yeah, let's dive in.
let's see what we can find.
Well, the CTMU, it kind of sees reality as this like unified, self-referential system.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're not talking about some physical place you go when you die, right?
Not at all, no. This is more like a state of being, a state of separation
Separation. From what?
from that unity we were just talking about.
Yeah.
From the harmony of the universe.
Huh. Okay, so, I mean, how do you end up separated like that?
Well, the CTMU is really big on this idea of logic and self-consistency.
Right, so if you're out of sync with the universe's logic.
You start creating a hellish state.
Okay, now that's where I get a little tripped up.
Yeah.
Because, like, what does that even mean? How can you be out of sync with logic?
I think a good way to picture it is imagine a perfectly choreographed dance.
Okay, I'm with you.
Every move is precise. It all flows, right? But then one dancer messes up.
Oh.
They trip or miss a step or something. Suddenly, it throws off the whole thing.
Yeah, I gotta sync.
Exactly. And that disruption, that's kind of like what happens in a hellish state.
Interesting. So it's like actions that violate the universe's logic,
Yeah.
they create this kind of dissonance, this separation.
Right. And that's where the whole cognitive part of the CTMU comes in.
Right, so because it's all about our thoughts and choices shaping our reality.
Exactly. But how does that actually work? I mean,
Yeah.
well, the CTMU, it suggests that our minds aren't these like isolated things.
But,
They're more like extensions of the universe's own thought process.
oh, okay, so our thoughts are like,
Like code. Code. Yeah, like code that feeds back into the system.
okay, so if your code is good,
If you're acting with, compassion, understanding, if you're recognizing that we're all connected.
you're contributing to the harmony.
Exactly. But then if your code is all messed up, if it's full of negativity and selfishness.
Oh, that's where the hell comes in.
Yeah, you create that dissonance.
Like a computer program crashing.
Exactly. Because you're contradicting the fundamental logic of the universe.
Or hold on a sec.
Sure.
If it's all about us creating our own reality, doesn't that mean, like, there are no real consequences?
Oh, that's a really good question. And it gets to the heart of what the CTMU is all about.
Okay.
It's not saying that there's no personal responsibility. It's more like it's placing that responsibility within a much bigger context.
Okay, so it's not like there's a big judge up there deciding who goes to heaven or hell.
No, not at all. It's saying that the consequences are built into reality itself.
So, like, if you do something bad,
Yeah.
you don't get punished by some outside force.
It's more that your actions create ripples, and those ripples have consequences.
Okay, so the point isn't to avoid hell because you're scared of punishment.
Right. It's about understanding that our choices matter, that they have an impact, and that we should strive to make choices that contribute to the well-being of, ourselves and the universe.
Okay, I see. So it's more about aligning yourself with that universal harmony.
Right. And that's where the idea of self-realization comes in.
Right.
The CTMU, it proposes that the universe is basically trying to understand itself.
Like, it's learning and growing.
Exactly. And so hell, in this context, it's like a state of stunted growth, like you're failing to be a part of that process.
It's like being a puzzle piece that doesn't fit.
Perfect analogy.
So we're all kind of contributing to either the heaven or hell of the universe.
In a way, yeah. But that also means we have the power to change things.
That's actually a good point, that CTMU doesn't say you're stuck in hell forever.
Right, exactly. It's not like eternal damnation.
So there's always the potential for change.
Absolutely. Just like you can rewrite bad code, we can always choose to realign ourselves with the universe's logic.
It's like hitting the reset button.
In a way, yeah. It's about learning and growing and becoming more aware of how connected we all are.
Okay, so we've talked about this separation, these consequences. We've talked about self-creation and the possibility of change.
Yeah.
But what does this actually look like in the real world?
Okay, well, Let's take someone who's, say, consumed by prejudice.
Okay.
Their thoughts, their actions, they're all driven by fear and separation. They're denying our shared humanity.
Yeah, and they probably end up hurting themselves and others.
And exactly. That's a pretty clear example of a hellish state.
It's a vicious cycle.
Right. A self-perpetuating cycle of negativity.
And the more people trapped in that cycle,
The more hellish the overall state of things becomes.
like a virus almost.
Exactly. The CTMU suggests that these individual hells, they can spread.
It's like a chain reaction of negativity.
Right, and that's where these negative feedback loops come in.
So the key is to break those loops, to change our own code, and hopefully inspire others to do the same.
Exactly, it's a process, a journey.
So to sum it all up, the CTMU is saying that hell isn't about fire and brimstone. It's more like a state of being, a consequence of our choices.
And a failure to see how connected we all are.
Right, but the good news is there's always hope. We can change. We can rewrite our code.
And contribute to a more harmonious universe.
It really is a different way of looking at things.
It really is.
And it makes you think about the impact of every thought, every action. So
Absolutely.
if you're fascinated by this, dive into the CTMU. Explore it.
There's a lot to discover there.
A whole new way of understanding ourselves and the universe.
I completely agree. It's a very powerful model.
So until next time, folks, keep those minds open and keep questioning. And maybe, just maybe, we can all contribute to a little less hell and a little more heaven in the universe.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See that?